Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I'm Dr. Manpreet Arora from Central University of Himachal Pradesh, Dharamshala. Today we are going to talk about the module Foreign Trade Promotion Measures from the paper International Business Operations. After completing this module, you will be able to know about India's foreign trade policy. You'll understand about various initiatives taken by DGFT to promote foreign trade in India. You will be able to gain knowledge about various export promotion schemes prevalent country. India's foreign trade policy statement explains the foreign trade policy for the year of 5 years. This policy statement describes all types of market and product strategies that will be followed for promotion of exports and enhancing trading activities. Presently, foreign trade policy for the period of 2015 to 2020 is operational. It states all the foreign trade promotional measures which the government will take in the form of various schemes and incentives. It states various types of advantages available to the exporters and importers if they trade for stated products and services under the relevant scheme. Foreign trade these days play a considerable part in every developing economy. That is why it becomes important to pay special focus and attention to the foreign trade policy. Considerable steps are taken time and again to boost foreign trade by initiating various schemes which are generally stated down in foreign trade policy. In the current foreign trade policy of 25-20, the focus and the vision is to make India a major participant in the world trade by 2020. According to the current policy, government aims at enhancing India's exports of merchandise and services approximately to $900 billion by 2019-20. It also aims to increase India's share in the world exports from 2% to 3.5%. The foreign trade policy for 25-20 to create a sustainable development in foreign trade by various initiatives and flagship programs of the government like Make in India, Digital India, Skills India, etc. to promote and diversify India's export basket. Let us discuss about the foreign trade policy. Foreign trade policy is a set of guidelines which are established by Directorate General of Foreign Trade to regulate, to control and to manage foreign trade of India. The foreign trade policy of India is regulated by Foreign Trade Development and Regulation Act 1992. The main thrust of the Foreign Trade Policy Act is to provide regulations and provisions to encourage, to facilitate and to support foreign trade. Its basic aim is to create self-sufficiency and increase exports of the nation. Ministry of Commerce and Industry administers foreign trade of India, which includes exports to and imports from all the countries around the world. Foreign trade plays a pivotal role in the economic development of the country. That is why it becomes pertinent to take all requisite and important steps to promote and foster trade with all possible countries in the world. Let us talk about the trade facilitation schemes and the role of DGFT in foreign trade. Ministry of Commerce and Industry has attached one office, Directorate General of Foreign Trade, that is DGFT, for regulation and promotion of foreign trade. This office is headed by Director General of Foreign Trade. Since 1991, this institution is involved in regulation, promotion and inducing foreign trade through regulation. DGFT is acting as a facilitator of increasing and augmenting exports by taking care of liberalized and globalized market conditions. After liberalization in 1991, the major shift in the policy of the foreign trade was to promote and give a competitive environment for increasing exports of the country. Earlier, there were many controls and prohibitions in doing foreign trade. To make India's exports competitive in the global market, it becomes very indispensable to cut transaction costs. That is why various provisions of foreign trade policy aim at facilitating the various stakeholders of imports and exports. DGFT is the key facilitator of exports and imports. Its main thrust is on good governance, and it tries to build up a transparent and an efficient system of foreign trade. Let us discuss about various export promotion schemes which have been initiated by DGFT to boost economic trade, foreign trade of the country. Foreign trade policy, which is currently running, that is 2015 and 20, has made certain provisions in certain manners to boost India's exports. Its basic thrust relies on offsetting the inefficiencies which are hindering the export promotion of the country. The following are the certain schemes which are either initiated or they were initiated earlier and now they are being improved upon to boost India's export. The first one is Niriyat Bandhu, that is hand-holding scheme for new export-import entrepreneurs. Directorate General of Foreign Trade is going ahead with a scheme for mentoring, counseling, training and outreaching new and potential traders. This scheme is called as Niriyat Bandhu hand-holding scheme for the new export-import entrepreneurs. The scheme was started under the Foreign Trade Policy in 2009-14 on 13th of October 2011. The basic thrust of this scheme was to focus on the coaching, mentoring and inculcating skills in the first generation entrepreneurs in the field of international trade. Under this scheme, various outreach programs are organized with the support of export promotion councils, industry partners, knowledge partners for academia. This scheme is considered to be strategically significant in generation of employment opportunities, especially in the small and medium-scale enterprises. To boost exports from small and medium-scale enterprises, 108 export clusters have been identified. They are chosen on the basis of their export potential of the products. Directorate General of Foreign Trade is making considerable efforts in these clusters for focused interventions. In addition to this, under the outreach interventions, 35 towns of excellence have been chosen for direct intervention under Niriyat Bandhu scheme. The second scheme which has been initiated for the boost of entrepreneurs is Merchandise Exports from India scheme. In the new foreign trade policy of 2015-20, 5 different schemes which were prevalent earlier also have been merged into one single scheme, which is regarded as now Merchandise Export from India scheme, famously known as MEIS. The earlier schemes were Focus Product Scheme, Market Linked Focus Product Scheme, Focus Market Scheme, Agri Infrastructure Incentive Scrip. These all have been merged into now one scheme, that is MEIS. The main objective of Merchandise Export from India scheme is to offset infrastructural inefficiencies which could hinder foreign trade. It also aims at reducing the effect of associated costs which are involved in the export of goods products which are produced or manufactured in India. It tries to cover those items especially which have high export intensity and have high employment generation potential, and thereby they enhance and induce India's export competitiveness. In this scheme, various goods and products have been notified for exports with ITC HS codes to notified markets, which will be rewarded under MEIS. The notified list also lists the rates of rewards on various notified products code-wise. If you want to see this list, you can visit the website of DGFT and you can find the list over there. The basis of calculation of reward would be on realized FOB value of exports in free foreign exchange or on FOB value of exports as given in the shipping bills in the free foreign exchange, whichever is less, unless otherwise specified. Let us now discuss about the Service Exports from India scheme. That's SEIS. Service Exports from India scheme has replaced the earlier prevalent scheme of Served from India scheme in current foreign trade policy. SEIS present rewards to all service providers of notified services who are providing services from India, regardless of the constitution or profile of the service holder. Under the said scheme, rate of reward will be based on net foreign exchange earned. The reward will be issued in the form of duty credit scrip. This reward will be now freely transferable and can be used for all type of goods and service tax, debit payable on procurement of goods and services. Let us now discuss about the schemes which are given for duty exemption or remission. So we call them duty exemption and remission schemes. The duty exemption and remission schemes, they enable duty-free imports for export production, but they have export obligation too. This means whatever is imported under this scheme should be used to produce or manufacture the goods which will be later exported. These schemes consist of number 1, Advance Authorization Scheme. In this scheme, the duty-free import of those inputs is allowed which will be physically incorporated later in the export product with value addition of minimum 15%. For the resultant products, advance authorization is allowed on self-declaration basis. The validity period of advance authorization ranges from 12 months for making imports to 18 months for fulfillment of export obligation. The second scheme under this head is Advance Authorization for Annual Requirement. Those exporters who have at least 2 years of experience of exporting goods will be entitled to receive the benefits of Advance Authorization for Annual Requirement. The third one is Duty-Free Import Authorization Scheme, known as DFIA. The Duty-Free Import Authorization is a scheme which allows duty-free inputs where minimum of 20% value addition is the requirement. Basic custom duty will be exempted for DFIA for certain notified products. The fourth one is the duty drawback of customs or central excise duties or service tax. In this scheme, those products which are produced out of the duty paid inputs are at the first instance exported, and later on the refund of duty is made at the industry rates or the brand rates. These rates are scheduled timely by the Department of Revenue. Now let us discuss the other category of schemes, which is known as Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme. Famously, this scheme is known as EPCG scheme. To facilitate exports from India, capital goods is the basic necessity. To facilitate the import of capital goods required in the production of exports, certain schemes have been initiated. The first of them is Zero Duty EPCG scheme. In this scheme, import of those capital goods at zero custom duties allowed, which will be used in producing the products for exports. The goods thus produced will enhance the competitiveness of India's exports in the world market. This scheme aims at producing better quality goods with the use of modern technology, machines, or other capital goods which can be imported from rest of the world. This scheme creates an obligation of exporting goods worth 6 times of duty saved in the past 6 years. The another scheme is Post-Export EPCG Duty Credit Scrip Scheme. Those exporters who want to import capital goods by doing full payment of duty in cash first can take advantage of Post-Export EPCG Duty Credit Scrip Scheme. Providing the position of status holders. In the new foreign trade policy of 1520, those businessmen who have achieved excellence in international trade and have contributed immensely in the foreign trade of India are proposed to be given the position of status holders. In order to save their time, transaction costs, and facilitate export activities, they will be given special treatment. Now, they will be given the status of 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5-star export houses. Earlier, they were given the certificate of export house, star export house, trading house, star trading house or premier trading house. Further, the producers or the manufacturers who have achieved the position of status holders, they are entitled to self-certify their manufactured goods so as to qualify for the preferential treatment under different preferential trading agreements, free trade agreements, comprehensive economic cooperation agreements, and comprehensive economic partnership agreements. Another category of the schemes under this heading is promoting and boosting Make in India program. So, in order to promote domestic capital goods and manufacturing industry, the specific export obligation under this EPCG scheme has been reduced to 75%. Those export products which have high domestic content and value addition will receive higher rewards under MEIS scheme. Another scheme which has been started to promote exports is the trade facilitation through paperless trade. Though DGFT provides the facility of online filing of various applications, but certain documents have to be submitted physically. In order to provide ease of doing business 24 hours, further, it is proposed in this FTP to provide paperless facility of processing various rewards. The exporters will be benefited immensely if they are allowed to submit their various documents online. Documents like certificate from CA, application for availing schemes, they can be filed online. This would not only save paper, but will also save cost and time of exporters. It also proposes to generate online interministerial consultations for certain approvals, norms, fixations, etc. As a result, exporters will not have to submit hard copies of various documents. DGFT is also working towards having a better communication with exporters by providing them facility of uploading their important details and information in the IEC database. Other e-governance initiatives have also been undertaken by DGFT to facilitate trade, which are creating a message exchange mechanism for exchange of export reward scripts from DGFT to customs. It is also working in the direction of creating exchange mechanism for transmission of import details from the customs to Directorate General of Foreign Trade. Export obligation discharge certificates will also be now issued online. Creating a message exchange mechanism with Ministry of Corporate Affairs for CIN in DIN. Online payment of fees by using debit and credit cards. Amongst another new initiatives taken by DGFT, export-oriented units, electronics hardware technology parks, software technology parks, schemes and biotechnology parks will be allowed to share and use their infrastructural facilities amongst themselves. This effort is initiated in order that these units are able to utilize their facilities in optimum manner and duplication of efforts is minimized. Further, inter-unit transfer of goods and services are allowed among these units. It will help in reducing the cost of transportation and other related costs, and it will result in maintaining effective supply chain. Export-oriented houses have also been allowed to set up their warehouses near the port of exports. It aims at reducing and lowering down the lead time for delivery of goods, which ultimately brings efficiency in exports. EOUs, EHTPs, STPIs, they are allowed to reallocate capital goods to other export-oriented units, other electronic hardware technology parks, other software technology parks, or biotechnology parks. Even they can supply or reallocate capital goods to SEZ units. Now, a provision has been made that if such transferred goods, which are capital in nature, are abandoned by the recipient, then the same can be returned to the supplying unit without payment of the duty. In addition to all these stated schemes, the following measures are undertaken under new foreign trade policy to promote foreign trade and facilitate the export of the country. It also aims at facilitating ease of trade. The government, with support of DGFT, has started various outreach programs which will be organized or conducted at several locations to create general awareness among the various stakeholders who can ultimately contribute towards increasing the foreign trade of the country. Handloom products, books, periodicals, leather footwears, toys, customized fashion garments, which have FOB value up to Rs 25,000 per consignment, shall be now eligible for benefits under FTP. The increasing periphery of trade facilitation Calicut Airport, Kerala and Arakkonam ICD, Tamil Nadu have been notified as registered ports for import and export. India has extended duty-free tariff preference to 33 least developed countries, LDCs, across the globe. This is being notified under foreign trade policy. In an effort to determine and resolve quality complaints and the trade disputes between various exporters and importers. A new chapter, namely a chapter on quality complaints and trade disputes, has been incorporated in the foreign trade policy. 33 towns were earlier recognized as export excellence towns by the government in order to boost trade. It has now been decided to add Vishakhapatnam and Bhimavaranam in Andhra Pradesh as towns of export excellence. Higher rewards have been decided to be granted for the category of products like agriculture and village industry products, value-added and packaged products, eco-friendly and green products which can create wealth out of waste from agricultural and other waste products, labor-intensive products with large employment potential, and products with large number of producers and/or exporters. The policy also aims at providing global support to the following category of goods: fruits, flowers, vegetables. It covers tea, coffee and spices, cereal preparation, essential oils. It also contains processed foods. Eco-friendly products that add value to the waste also come under this category. This policy also provides global support for exporting of marine products. The products like handloom, coir, jute and technical textiles, carpets, handmade, they all come under this category. The policy is also aiming to give a global support to other textile and ready-made garments, sports goods, furniture, wood articles, they all come under the support of this scheme. So the students, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. In this globalized world, it is mandatory that there will be a mutual interdependence of various national economies. Today, it is very tough to sustain in a closed-door economy. All the economies of the world have become open and operate independence with one another in one way or another. But the degree of openness as well as the dependence varies from country to country, while the growing demand of product and easy accessibility of resources worldwide, no country is completely sufficient. Foreign trade plays a very important and pertinent role in the economic development of the country. Foreign trade encourages the manufacturers, producers to boost or to increase the investment to produce more and more goods and services. Foreign trade increases the scale of production and national income of the country. Therefore, it becomes very important for a developing nation like India to pay special focus on foreign trade policy and encourage exporters to boost the foreign trade. The present foreign trade policy is very exporter friendly and is providing immense benefits, various type of schemes, rewards to the stakeholders. Various old schemes have been revitalized to get their proper benefits. Due care has been taken in this policy to support the small exporters. This policy also aims at better utilization of idle resources available to various units, paperless facilities, online transactions. These things will surely help in ease of doing business and reducing the burden of procedural formalities on the exporters. Since its inception, DGFT is playing a very crucial role in boosting the foreign trade of India. The incentives and rewards under various schemes help to give confidence to small and budding entrepreneurs. The Make in India campaign will undoubtedly give more strength to the manufacturing sector of the country. Proper, well-planned and a thoughtful foreign trade policy of the country will indeed play a pivotal role in encouraging exports of the country. A healthy and a competitive environment helps to induce efficiency in production, and ultimately, not only the consumer, but the economy benefits from the economies of scale and better quality product as a whole. Thank you.